And welcome back, everybody, to the Matinee Review, where two friends talk everything entertainment, such as movies, animated features, television shows, video games, cartoons, and comic books. I am Justin.
I am Akili.
How are you?
I am good.
Very good. It's become a musical, everybody.
There you go. Happy podcast day, my friend.
Is it podcast day?
Apparently.
Wow.
According to the internet, which, if you want to believe everything you read on the internet, great. But several people are just podcast day. So I said, fuck it. Yeah, it's podcast day. Happy podcast
All right.
day.
There's a day for everything. But
sure.
It's nice that we're recording on a day that's for podcast and not for, pizza.
Way back in high school times.
I can go for pizza.
Ooh, yeah, pizza. I think we're having pizza tonight.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting home earlier from work, just because it's light work today. Yeah, I'll be able to come home and order pizza. That
sounds
awesome.
good.
Yes, way back times in high school when I was dating a girl, pretty briefly. She had this kind of one-and-day. She had either a book or like a little one-and-day calendar. I think it was a book. It was like a reason to drink every day, and you had you could celebrate this today. You could celebrate this today. So yeah, there's a reason every day to do some kind of celebrating, but today it just happens to be the podcast one. So here we are. Yeah. How are you?
I am good. I've been editing. I've been doing nothing but editing, but I've been enjoying it. I want to get more out there I'm already out there, but I want to get more episodes out there, and just really just get this done. And I'm getting better at the whole editing thing. So
I can tell.
Can you? Thank you.
I can. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
With every episode, I can tell the edits. I can okay. Yeah. That's, we're almost at the point, I think, by episode 10, we'll be able to go back to episode 1 and just be like, huh, okay. Yeah, you can see the leaps and bounds.
Right.
So
trying new things.
I appreciate you putting in the work. And I'm
sure
the
no
people
problem.
listening appreciate you putting in the work. So I don't have confetti, but I just threw some. So
yeah.
Thank you.
I think that was dust that just fell down, but I'll take that as confetti.
I think it's just old hay from fair. That might be
probably.
what this is.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Very good. But other than that, how are you? Did I ask that already? But
you did.
I might have. I did.
But I can say again, I am good. Things are great.
Very good.
Things are great. I've been able to do the fair stuff again for a little bit, which has been awesome, seeing people and having experiences. And even as much as I was like, I'm not really ready to see a lot of patrons, the patrons have been actually pretty cool this run so far. I haven't had any crazy instances or anything like that. So I'm in a pretty good space, my guy.
No, I think they're just as happy / nervous and excited to be doing the same thing as we are.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you can see it on a lot of people. A lot of other people are just like, why am I here? You can tell the ones that have been dragged and are like, I still don't want to be doing this. But I get it.
I didn't want to do this last time.
Right. That too.
I came back.
You're constantly on your phones. Headphones, huh? Very good.
Right.
What you listening to?
Right.
Yeah.
An audio tour fair. On your left, you'll see the Hawking Pirates. Throw stars or knives. Throw both.
Right. Thirsty? Grab a Bud Light.
Right. Here we pass the 21 and over keep it moving. No.
Right.
Sorry, we haven't updated those tapes yet. Sorry. No.
Close the curtains, will you? Jeez.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Very good. Yeah. It's been fun. And if I sound a little scratchy and raggy, it's because I do a lot of yelling there. So.
Oh, but it works. You can be heard. You can be heard. Yeah.
I am heard. So.
You can have that one. You can have that one for free.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. I've heard them all. Let's see here.
I think you've said them all.
Probably. I mean, when you hear them all, you say them all. So, yeah. Context? None. All right. So,
I imagine it's awesome. People come up to you and say things like, "Have you heard?" And you're just like,
"Yeah,
I have."
Mm-hmm.
Every day.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
That's right.
All right.
So, shall we get into the news?
The news. Let's get into the news.
Fresh off the print, we have news, everybody. News.
Where's the kid with my paper?
You don't get a paper anymore. You were so rude to him last time.
They finally got the point. Good.
I keep buying papers from him until he quits, because I hate the whole screaming thing. Walking past you, it's morning.
Right.
You scream in my ear because you're standing on a box.
I just left the little brat at home. Now I gotta come hear your shit. Cool.
Businessmen of the 1950s. So,
Right. Just want to go to the office and I can sip my whiskey and go about my job.
It's more the 1930s and 20s at that point. Going back a little bit further than that, I wouldn't say 1950s. There was more of the news rack and less of the person going, "Hey, come and buy my paper." So yeah, my voice definitely cracked right there. Yeah. Stranger Things has a new teaser.
It does.
It did. It looks cool.
It does.
It's got a very haunted house vibe to it. You know,
Gave me an American Horror Story feel.
Yeah, Amityville.
Like that first season of American Horror Story, which is the haunted house season, I believe. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
It says 2022,
It does say 2022.
but that's about it.
I like the fact they're wandering into a haunted house and they drop the bag and it's got the Ghostbusters
Yes.
little logo on it, gives a little shout. And then your man's rocking the high top fade, which I love because I rocked the high top fade
There it is.
when I was a young, about his age. That was also my hairstyle. So I was juiced to see that. And then your boy's quoting Sherlock Holmes and then laughs at your boy.
Gives him a
doesn't get it,
scoff,
he's
like you
the
don't get it.
idiot.
Like, all right, fine.
How do you not get this?
Well, I mean, we've all known that he's been more into his hair than he has been into anything else for a while. So, yeah, you know, it was kind of that, or also it
And
could have
the
been the
slim
look
broad
of
always has the worried look on her face.
right.
So
Right.
she always looks worried.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it looks interesting. Gives it that nice little shot of the grandfather clock, and then we flip to the upside down, and clock
I
starts
did dig
to break.
that.
And
I like that sound, just like just right with the way they kind of edited the chiming of midnight sound.
chiming, yeah, and the ticking in the back
yeah.
kind of gets amplified, and
Yep.
yeah, no, it was a neat trailer.
Yeah. And that's what I like. Stuff that's not going to show you everything, but it's going to pull you in. That's important.
Right.
So that was good. Sandman also got a first trailer.
So, real quick, well, as quick as you can. What and who is this Sandman character? Is this the Neil Gaiman thing?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know what the story is. I've never read Sandman. My brother read Sandman years ago, and I think he tried getting me into it at one point, but I was more of the, capes and
Right.
punching and all that. And I'm interested in this one, yes, but at the same time, I know nothing about it other than it involves death and I guess the Sandman being the man of dreams, and I don't know anything else.
Yeah, from what I can gather from the trailer, I guess they're trying to summon Death, and instead of getting Death himself, they get one of either his offspring or his siblings, because they talk about like it's like, oh, you can get sadness and sorrow and all this other stuff. It's like, which one are you? It's like dreams, and so yeah, they trap the Sandman.
Yeah,
So
Mr. Sandman.
I also don't know
Bring me
a
a
whole
drink.
lot about it, but
Do,
I
do,
do
do.
know that once again Tywin Lannister is in there fucking being evil.
Yes.
No.
When is he not?
Right.
Have you seen one romantic comedy with him? I mean,
Golden Child?
what's your definition of a romantic comedy?
Well, with a little bit of Satan talking twos and there's some action in there, and I want the knife. But Eddie at one point, Eddie, it's Eddie Murphy, who is a comedian, being romantic. So
When was the last time you saw that movie?
pretty recent.
Not
actually.
once would I go, my God, he was being romantic.
Well, he's got the one thing where, he's just in his own charming way. It's Eddie Murphy in his player days. So, he was, "Oh, is that a bed? Is that a bed?" Yeah. So.
Ah, romance.
Yeah.
Can you just hear the, is that a bed?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Hops in sideways being goofy.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sandman looks good.
Sandman looks good.
I'm always into kind of like more into the darker side of things and literature and all that. So if someone's trying to summon death, I think that's just awesome in itself. Hey, I know what we're going to do. We're going to trap death. And it's like, that never ends well. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to do any extra reading about it. I'm pretty sure my roommate could probably give me a quick summary. He's a Neil Gaiman fan. But other than that, I think I'm just going to wait for it to come out and then see what it's about.
Cool.
Yep.
That's pretty much where I am at this point, too.
Awesome.
Yeah. I knew that the covers of the comics were cool. The artwork was good. But other than that, I don't know anything about it.
Hey, y'all listening out there. Maybe if y'all want to interact with us, send us some emails or something. If you're like, hey, here's what Sandman's about. If you want to do that, feel free.
Yeah. MatineeReview.com. Or not .com. I'm okay. The Matinee Review at gmail.com.
We don't have the .com yet. That'll be coming. I'm not even going to say soon. It'll be coming. One day.
We will have a website.
One day we will have a website.
One day. So Cobra Kai is getting, of course, a season 4. And it was supposed to be released this year and still will be. And they've given us an exact date of December 31st.
I mean, when you talk about things being released this year, that you can't cut it any close.
No, that's
dang.
That's pretty much the last chance you get.
Yeah. Gave themselves plenty of time.
Yep. So I'm excited. I can't wait. I just watched all of the movies. Not all of them. I watched 1 through 3 and then seasons 1 through 3. And I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah. Give Hilary Swank. It's like before she was $1 Million Baby, she was the next Karate Kid, man.
Yep.
I know I was kind of down the last time we talked. Hey, if you want to watch it before, just go ahead and watch it. You know why? Because you still get a Mr. Miyagi performance, which
this is true.
Watching Pat Morita be Mr. Miyagi is fantastic no matter what he's doing. So
the second one is my favorite one.
There you go. It all works out. It's going to be awesome. I loved that we got to see a shot of Terry Silver.
Yeah.
Super juiced. Puts his hair in a ponytail and starts punching a bag because if a man can't see, he can't fight.
Nope.
And he's still just rocking that ponytail like it's still shiny and black. But yeah, it's got some color on it. Yeah. I look forward so much to how they're going to, like him and Kreese are going to play like the mind games. It worked on young LaRusso.
Yeah.
In part 3 where he was feeling like maybe Mr. Miyagi's taught me all I can. And it's like, oh no. And then, I forget the broad he was dating in the third one.
I forgot her name.
Yeah,
she was in Wizard with, or The Wizard with, Wonder Years.
Oh, with Fred Savage?
Fred Savage.
Is that the
Fred
same?
Savage,
is that the same young lady? The movie that made the Power Glove seemed like the coolest thing in the world.
I believe she was also in the Goonies. I think that's the same girl.
Huh.
Let's check this out.
I'm
going to do this right now.
I think the chick from the Goonies is the chick from The Wizard. I don't know if that's the same bra from Karate Kid 3, but I think those two are the same.
You're making me feel bad here.
No, not at all. Because in a minute, you're probably going to be right, and I'm going to be like, oh, well, we're going to
Karate Kid 3 cast.
Survey says.
Robin Lively. Robin and movies and TV shows. Karate Kid Part 3. And it says Cobra Kai.
Oh, snap.
Breaking news.
Are they going to bring, she coming back for Cobra Kai to what?
I guess so.
Oh, that means.
It just says it right there.
That means Barnes has to show up, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
No, that's.
Okay. See, we're you know what? I'm not even going to do any more research. I'm not going to look into it. We're just going to bring it. Bring it, Cobra Kai. Bring it.
Okay.
Bring all the shit.
Yeah, I see nothing about Goonies or Wizard. So you're right about that. And yeah,
I just remember her when he when he punches the dude in the bar. She's just like, Daniel, what the hell are you doing? Are you nuts?
Well, he also turns. Well, when she goes to grab him, he turns and starts to give that I'm going to punch you too, not knowing who she is, or
And that's when
who knows, maybe
breaks him out.
yeah, and grab him and we gotta go.
Oh, I love it. You didn't even think. You turned around and you just sucked him. And that's it.
Does that yeah, while kind of that leap while running, and you're like,
Easy.
This is why I like his acting, because it just goes over just that line of what you need, and it's not like really jumping over that line, like, oh, this guy's way over the top. He's over the top, absolutely, but it's enough that it's entertaining.
From the Nicolas Cage School of Acting.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. How can we put some kind of violins and guitar behind that? From the Nicolas Cage School of Acting comes a new comedy. No, sorry. That was good. Yeah. So, other than that,
so yeah, it's gonna be
Cobra Kai.
It's gonna be a good New Year's Eve. I don't know if
Yes.
I'm going to watch it on New. Well, who am I kidding? Yeah, I'm gonna watch it New Year's Eve.
right.
Yeah.
So, Cobra Kai Season 4, December 31st, 2021.
Let's do it.
The Witcher is also getting a third season before the second season even comes out. It has been greenlit and it is happening.
Cool.
So, yeah, they're going for it.
I'm still waiting for 'cause I haven't played it. My lady was playing it on Switch and then got about halfway through and then just kind of stopped playing it, I think. So
All right.
I either found another game or just found something else. I was like, oh, okay, so I guess we're done with Witcher. I won't know how it ends. So I guess I'll have to either play it on my own or look it up. But I don't know how closely it relates to the game. I've kind of watched Witcher. Just wasn't the biggest fan approaching the game enough to be excited about Witcher, and people are like, oh no, the game's great. And I was like, yeah, but you don't know if it's going to be like the game, so we can't just base it off that. But from what
Right.
I understand, Henry Cavill did a very good job. It's supposed to be a pretty good show. I think my lady did watch that, and I think she did enjoy the show. So, yeah.
Right. And from what I understand, because I never really played the games either, the games are based off the books.
There's books too.
Yes.
Shows you how much Witcher watching I've done.
The Witcher watching.
Yes.
So much Witcher watching. There's a lot of backstory, and there's a lot of, I guess, ways you could do it when you're translating it into a video game, and then there's just different ways you can do it when you're doing it into a series. I heard that certain characters that weren't even introduced until the third book were introduced in like the first episode. So they kind of introduced people out of order or got rid of certain characters off the bat. I don't know exactly. I've heard certain things, and I don't know how true to the video games it is because I didn't really play the video games. I started playing the third one and realized they're talking all this stuff like, well, that back when you were this and that. And I'm like, I have zero context to any of this. I have no idea what they're talking about. And it kind of made me go, well, I guess I'm going to have to either watch a YouTube video about the first two games or play the second one and then go into the third one so at least I understand something that they're talking about. But yeah, no, I enjoyed the first season. I thought it was cool.
Cool.
I couldn't tell you what fuck happened in that show at all.
Henry Cavill making his money. That's what's happening.
Yeah, and swinging a sword. There was some great fight choreography. Other than that, it's one of those like, if you're not completely into the show and you're Netflix binging it, you're kind of just watching it like moment to moment, as opposed to like, oh, I'm watching it because that in this previous episode, and I can't wait for what happens 2 episodes from now because they mentioned this. I was sitting there going, yeah, here we go. Cool. Woo. There's some fighting magic. Woo. All right. You can tell how excited I am about it. I will watch it.
Witcher 3, everybody.
Witcher Season 3.
Yeah, Witcher Season 3, everybody.
Coming at some point after Witcher Season 2, which is coming at some point.
Awesome.
Tonight is the night that we are all so excited about because Venom 2, something that happens, and Carnage is coming to get you. The sequel is coming out.
Venom
I don't
2,
even remember what.
Something happens.
There's something that happens, and the Carnage is coming, and the what is it called?
Let There Be Carnage.
Let There Be Carnage.
I like your title better. Venom 2. Something's gonna happen.
Right.
Fuck, that's great. Awesome.
That's coming out tonight. So Tom Hardy kind of gave a message, or put out a message out there with a poster of Venom giving the sign language of shut the fuck up, and is telling everybody to not give away any spoilers when it comes to the movie.
Oh, okay.
Now, the only thing I can get from that is that something happens at the end that ties in to Spider-Man. Because everything else, what is there to spoil?
That something happens, Justin.
Well, we all know something happens. We know they're going to fight. We know that he's still doing his Venom thing and eating people that deserve to be eaten. And Carnage is going to come out, and he's psychotic, and he's just going to be the ultimate villain for Venom. We see in the trailer that he's like, "Oh, that's a red one. No way.
I'll let you eat anybody that you want. Anyone? Ah!
Right.
Oh, right. That's it. You know, see...
Yeah.
I can't do it. Can't do it.
Yeah.
I love Woody Harrelson. I always said I could watch Woody Harrelson do anything. I don't even know if I can watch Woody Harrelson do this.
I said I could watch Tom Hardy do anything. He was amazing and is amazing in everything that he does, but I can't. I know I said in the last episode that I was going, I might have to see it. I saw the 4-minute clip that they put out, and no.
Yeah, nothing I've seen nothing I've seen inspired, like even enough for us to talk about it for the podcast. I was just like, I'll wait.
Right.
I'll say this: I'm not going to go to a theater and see it.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, is it only in theaters, or can we max it?
It's a Sony thing, so it'll be only in theaters until they put it out.
And Sony can wait to get my money for that one.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to go watch Venom. Something happens with Carnage.
Carnage is coming to get you.
I will let the people that want to spoil it for me. How's that?
That's how I feel about it at this point.
Yeah.
The only thing that can be spoiled in this movie is something that would connect to other movies that we're not expecting it to be connected to. Maybe the big spoiler is that it's connected to Morbius, and who cares?
But we kind of know that.
But it is, so it's not really a spoiler.
Right.
So it's got to be Spider-Man. It's got to be one of the, maybe like an Andrew Garfield, or everybody's like, "Why it's not Andrew Garfield because he says he's not in anything." But it could be tying it to that universe. It could be tying it to the Tom Holland Spider-Man. It could be tying it to Tobey Maguire. Well,
maybe they'll do a live action Miles Morales Spider-Man.
See, I said that it could have worked due to the fact that he could have been one of the kids that didn't disappear during the snap or the blip, whatever you want to call it. The snap. So, depending on who was where when it happened, who calls it what, he could have just been one of the kids that grew up while everybody else was gone for 5 years, and then when they came back, it's like now he's basically the same age as Peter Parker. Because Donald Glover says, I got a nephew who lives around here, and I can't have this. Mm-hmm. So could have been that perfect age where you give it 5 years, and now he's basically like, a year or two younger than Peter Parker. It could work.
I can promise Tom Hardy one thing. I promise I will not spoil anything about your movie.
There you go. You have our word.
Yeah.
That we won't spoil anything until it's already spoiled.
I won't say anything about it. I promise.
Oh, I mean, if we find out that Spider-Man's in it because it's already been spoiled, we'll talk about it.
Sure.
But other than that, I'm not actually spoiling it.
Right.
somebody else would have already spoiled it. And
Correct.
I'm going to be talking about it being spoiled.
Correct. Hence, not breaking our promise to Tom. Well, my promise to Tom Hardy, I guess.
Perfect.
Perfect.
I already promised that I wouldn't spoil it until it got spoiled. So
perfect.
It's a promise. Yeah.
So there we go.
Yeah.
We both promised Tom Hardy we will not spoil Venom. Something happens.
And Carnage is coming to get you.
Yep.
Look out.
Yep.
Carnage. On a subject that we all actually do care about, the Obi-Wan show has wrapped officially.
Oh, yeah.
The only ones who were left at that point when they said that they were basically done with principal photography and everything, they were going back for reshoots and other, I guess, fillers with Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor.
Nice.
So at that point, I'm just sitting there going, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so excited for this. This is the show that when they said they're doing The Mandalorian, I'm like, all right, cool. And I watched it and I was blown away. I enjoyed every minute of it. And then they said they're going to be doing a Boba Fett. I'm like, okay, cool. Then, when they announced that they were officially doing an Obi-Wan, this is what I want to see. I want to see a darker story than what we saw in episode 3. You're going to have some PTSD when it comes to Obi-Wan. You're going to have 10 years later, now it's been 10 years of Anakin being Darth Vader. Luke's 10, so maybe we'll see like 10-year-old Luke running around. Who knows? It's getting that much closer to the original trilogy that we know and love. And I can't wait to see that progression. Also, just, the return of Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is, I guess, maybe possibly the fight that he was talking about when he said, when I left you, I was but a learner. Now I am the master. It's like I was still learning the dark side. I was still going through it. And now you're absolutely screwed, no matter what. So, hoping we get that. To get another showdown between Anakin and Obi-Wan. But this time it's Darth Vader and Obi-Wan.
Right.
But, you know what I'm saying? Still in their prime.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm excited.
I'm super excited for the return of Hayden Christensen. I think for as much as, you asked me way back in the day, did I think Hayden Christensen sucked doing his job? Yeah, that's way back in the day, though. Realizing that the dude was taking on this monumental role, and actors are only pretty much as good as directors will let their range go. So if he's
right on the nose.
up there
Go
going
ahead.
like, I hate sand. Gets everywhere. And if somebody's like, oh, cut, perfect, way to go, Hayden. Like, instead of being like, let's try it a couple different ways, So there's a lot of that stuff is just the director going, Hayden, you nailed it. Instead of like, let's try it a couple different ways.
Who directed that movie again?
I think that was George Lucas, Justin.
It was that up and coming director George Lucas.
Yeah.
It was like his second movie, something like that at that point. Sorry.
No worries.
No, if you watch some of the behind the scenes, you just kind of watch him give this completely monotone, absolutely zero fucking direction other than walking and turning and giving the line. So he's like, so I want you to walk, and I want you to then turn around and say, I know I shouldn't, but, and all I can think is Hayden Christensen going, this is direction? Like, I know the lines, bro. I know where I'm supposed to stand.
Right.
Like, what do you want from me, though?
He just do you.
Right.
Yeah.
And just, the point being proved, if anybody's seen Life as a House with Hayden Christensen and Kevin Kline, you could see that the guy's got range.
He can act.
He can act. He's not a terrible actor, and when he has
Correct.
the right direction, he gives a damn good performance, a believable performance.
Yes.
So to see him in the hands of the director that they're getting, I'm super excited about this. I can't wait.
If I'm Hayden Christensen, I take all that hate, all the bad comments, all that shit, and I just bring it into the role.
Fuel it.
And I nail it. Yeah, and I nail
Yeah,
it. When
exactly.
I'm talking to someone that's pissing me off, I'm talking to every single comment and fan that said I sucked, I should die, find anyone else, I ruined their childhood, all this shit. Like I'm yelling at people. I'm getting it all out. It's my therapy. Let's bring it. Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Obi-Wan.
What else wrapped? something else wrapped?
So yeah, the Andor show also wrapped.
And or what?
And or who? Cassian Andor from that ever so popular, everyone knows, Rogue One movie.
There are people that are saying it's one of the best Star Wars films up there.
There are those who say that as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean it's a good one. It filled with a lot of fan service. A lot of people just kind of show up.
I think that's why some people think it's there because it hits their nostalgia button. They're just like, that's why
member
it's so
berries.
good.
A lot of member berries.
It's one of those. It's not that we could break a whole bit. It's one of those things where it's like I think people have gotten so jaded. There's a lot of people already kind of come in knowing like, oh, Darth Vader is that's Luke's father and this, that, and the third because it's already been a thing. But like, you got to try to put yourself back into a space when you watch things like Empire Strikes Back. Act like you don't know. It's still probably my favorite movie.
Right.
I mean, and just that, what at the time would be a big reveal. You're just like, oh shit, that's crazy. Like I think people have just they've like people come in. Oh, you've never heard of Star Wars? Like I think if you've never heard of Star Wars, you've at least heard Luke, I am your father or shit like that. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people look at Rogue One and they look at like a lot of the fan service and a lot of that. And especially it was coming after movies where people felt like Star Wars was in a decline. So Rogue One is seen as like, hey, this kind of, if it didn't save the franchise, it at least put it back on the right path for a bit. And I'm like, I guess.
Right.
To the point where like when they were like, hey, Andor is getting his own show, I was like, why? Did we attach ourselves to that character that much? Like, I guess so. But
I mean,
we'll see.
When he first got introduced, and he was like, "Look, I need whatever you got. Give it to me now. Just whatever it was." And then when they were about to get caught by the stormtroopers, and he's like, "No, calm down. It's okay. And then boom, just kills him. I went, "Who the fuck is this guy?" So I'm interested enough to know more of his backstory before Rogue One because obviously you can't do a sequel.
Right.
So, I would say, well, I mean, the sequel is basically episode 4,
right.
But can't do a sequel with him in it unless you just want to call it Sand.
He's the Sandman.
Right. That's how we get the Sandman, everybody. He gets killed by a giant blast on a beach and basically just gets disintegrated and then becomes the Sandman.
There you go.
Perfect. Now we know what that show's about.
Well, what they'll do is they'll release a little trailer and they'll throw some people that you might know because it's like, hey, guys, remember Andor? And people are going to go, no. Okay, but it's Star Wars and here's this person. You remember them, don't you? And like, oh, okay, well, they show up. I'll watch it.
Right.
So, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll also see that it's 12 episodes.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah, that's
a lot of episodes for Andor.
That's a lot of episodes. For Mandalorian, it was either like 8 or 10. I think it was 8.
Right.
For that show. So, yeah, 12 episodes. There's a lot, unless they split it into 2 seasons. So yeah. Maybe they'll do the Disney Plus's first mid-season finale.
Something.
And then,
maybe,
a couple months later, release it again.
Right.
Or the rest of it. So, yeah. Andor showing up at some point next year.
Cool.
Yeah, Disney Plus. Speaking of Disney Plus, a couple of posters dropped. One of the posters connected to Disney Plus being the Book of Boba Fett.
Looks like a good poster.
It does. It's very classy. It's very the last thing we saw him doing.
Right.
Right. So he's still doing it, folks.
He's just sitting in that chair.
He's sitting in that chair, and he is...
waiting to go.
He is doing him.
Waiting to go.
So, yep. That's cool. Looks great. I can't wait. He looks a little slimmer in this picture. That's okay. If anything, they better not get rid of the pudge, because it just makes it that much cooler when he's kicking that much ass, too, that he does in the show. Mm-hmm. An exact opposite of what he does normally.
Basically saying, I don't think Disney Plus goes to some of their people and they're like, hey, you're going to be doing all this action. Why don't you slim down? I think they're like, no, we're going to use what we have and still make you badass. So
Yeah, and especially if this character is now this is what 5 years after Return of the Jedi, and he's been around since Episode 2. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not going to be like fit.
No.
So yeah, no, it's good. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
That will be dropping on Disney Plus December 29th.
December 29th, everybody.
Yeah, so we have December 29th and then December 31st.
Yeah.
At least I think they're only going to do one episode, of course, a week for Boba Fett, but
Right.
it's okay. That's okay.
That's super
Yeah.
okay. Yep.
And then for another streaming service, they dropped a poster for something that I'm also very excited about, and I know that you are also very excited about, The Harder They Fall poster.
It's going to be a fantastic movie. The full
Yeah.
trailer dropped for that, and we get to see a little bit more of what this kind of all about. Looks like there's a kind of a grudge match between Jonathan Majors' character and Idris Elba's character, where it looks like he wronged him at some point, and he's coming back to get retribution. Looks like it's going to take place. It looks like it's going to end in a big fucking shootout in this town, or like at least a couple of them. So I'm super juiced for this movie.
And ending with the shootout in a town?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Go figure, right?
So, sounds new and up and coming.
Well, see, here's the
they
thing.
should try
though.
that more often.
Here's the thing. Here's the twist. Everyone's black.
I should watch that trailer again. I didn't even notice that. My goodness.
I think the only white cats are the dudes that get shot up in the train. Everybody else.
Well, there was also the guy who was driving the train at the beginning. He wasn't in the train. He was outside of the train.
Everybody in the train is just evil, I think.
Yeah.
What
are you trying to say,
He was
Akili?
gonna
What are you?
call-
Oh,
he
sorry.
was going to call her a nincompoop, Justice. We can't have that.
Of course not. Not one bit.
That's going to be good. Harley Fall is going to be really dope.
I can't wait. It looks great.
And of course,
It
get
looks
to
great.
see one of my biggest Hollywood crushes, Zazie Beetz, is going to be in it. So I'm juiced. Because I love Zazie Beetz.
I just love that, also in, what was it, Deadpool 2, for Domino, instead of having the tattooed black diamond around the eye, they just had a patch of vitiligo. And being someone who has vitiligo, when I saw that, I was like, could you make her any hotter to me right now? I mean,
Sam.
what? Not only is she who she is, but now she's got this vitiligo patch on her. Like, no, we're getting married. No, sorry.
I'll fight you for it.
Well, this podcast just got stalking charges. No, I'm sorry. Very good. Cool. So, yeah, that, I believe, is that for today when it comes to news.
The news. That was all the news.
I'm the one that's dying. Yours is better. Mine's like, bip, bip.
Yours is coming out of the TVA. Like, it's just all jacked up, man.
Too many timelines.
Too many questions.
Right.
Too many questions. Oh, Edward.
Yes, indeed.
So is it meat and potatoes time?
I think we should get into the meat and potatoes of what we are talking about today.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Disney Plus, Marvel Studios has done it again. And they have given us quite the show with some fantastic storyline and some amazing animation. What if, everybody, and I'm not asking you a question, what if is the show that we are talking about today, at least half of the show, or at least half of the season? Because if we talk about it all right now, we're going to be here all day.
Facts.
So, and we can't do that. We have to, no.
Things.
Got
Things.
things.
Life has to be.
And, oh boy.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I'm enjoying the hell out of this show. I think it is so well done. And being somebody who was like, this was my favorite run of comics as a kid, I couldn't wait to just get the next what if, whatever it was. Because, like I said, I'm sure I mentioned it before, the fact that they were one-offs, that they weren't connected to the next issue. You had to read 5 issues back just to know what was happening on issue 6. It was, this is what it is. This is what happens. Short, quick, You get a beginning, a middle, and an end, and you get to see different versions of the characters that you already know go through a completely and utterly different situation that you already know that they've gone through. So I'm so happy about this show being out. I'm so happy that they're connecting it to the cinematic universe that, who doesn't love the cinematic universe at this point?
Martin Scorsese.
Well, we're not talking about him anymore. So
what if Martin Scorsese loved the MCU? No.
What if?
In a different timeline, Martin Scorsese has directed an MCU movie.
Right.
It's probably pretty good. But
right.
In this timeline, we're talking about what if, and Scorsese thinks these are a bunch of roller coaster rides. But whatever.
And they are.
Speaking of roller coaster rides, this is the kind of roller coaster ride you want to take.
Mm-hmm.
And when this show was first announced, for the people in my circle and my family who don't read comics or don't really know anything, that was the one show I had to explain to them the most about what if. It's like, so just imagine changing different origin stories. And I pretty much just used the first episode as an example. Like, you remember seeing Captain America? Yeah, okay. So you remember Captain America's main lady, Agent Carter? Like, yeah. It's like, okay, what if she took the super serum and now she was Captain Carter? And it's like, oh, okay. It's like, yep. Little things like that.
Yeah.
I honestly thought that was a really good opening what if episode to do, because I went back last night and I watched the first 4 episodes again. Took a little bit of notes, and so I wanted to get it fresh for today. And I enjoyed the first episode more than I did the last time I watched it. Yeah, I think the Captain Carter episode was great, just through and through. Everything about it was great, super great.
Yeah. I enjoyed everything about it except why did. And yeah, I'm going to have my gripes, people. Sorry.
Of course.
But
that's what we're here for.
What inspired Howard Stark to make an Iron Man outfit? Basically, the giant one, basically from the first Iron Man.
Connective Marvel tissue.
You could have connected it a little bit better. I'm sorry. He could have come in a tank.
It's only a 30-minute show, Justin. They have to rush some of that stuff along.
But we don't have to have it like, well, look, his son in the future makes an Iron Man outfit. So because, Captain America's not going to be Captain America, he's going to need an Iron Man outfit now.
Mm-hmm.
No, he doesn't. So that was my only thing. I mean, it looked great. It looked awesome. It was cool. I loved the idea. I loved it when, he's like, let's charge it with this. And then it just basically falls face first and it's all right. I'm okay. Everything's all right.
Great, because we don't have all day.
Right, exactly. So I enjoyed that. I loved her reaction to when, going back to Captain Carter. I loved her reaction to just figuring out that she can do these things,
just
that she
being
is that
Captain
strong.
Carter. Yeah.
Right.
Just being Captain Carter, like, oh, snap, I can do this. Oh, snap, this is great.
That's what she says. That's brilliant. Let's see if we could do it again. Right. And I just loved that. That was cool. So everything about the action in it too.
Yeah. One of my notes is just like fluid animation. Like when you see her going through these, there's the little montage shot when they shoot her up into the air. She's riding the Hydra Stomper. She skydives into the plane, fucking takes everybody out of the plane. And it's just, I'm just like, man, this is fantastic.
Running through the damn plane as it's going to be crashing and then crashes into another, just a regular frickin', just a single fighter plane and just takes that guy out of it and then jumps off of that and then lands on the Hydra Stomper. Yeah. And just all of that was amazing. It's just something that you're like going, put that live action.
Yeah.
But even still, without it being live action, it was so well done that it still had that live action feel.
Had a live action feel. I was sitting there, I was going like, I would watch a weekly episode of Captain Carter, like in animation, just like this. Like this is just for as well as they were able to put a lot of that stuff together. That was so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So well done.
Yeah.
And the only other notes I have are just I wrote, you know me and my notes, but I can pretty much condense the notes into this. I like the shots and the moments that we get from Captain America that they kind of cleverly just kind of small, they like kind of flipped and just, because like they gave her a scene where she's doing the punching bag and she knocks it off the chain.
Right.
When she rescues Dum Dum Dugan, and then she gets the shot where, that shot from the trailer where she walks through the door shooting the gun and everybody's fanning out behind her.
Mm-hmm.
Just little stuff like that that they kind of kept in. I think was just really, really cool, and they're just, again, really great leadoff hitter for a series. Really exciting. It's just a couple small ones I wanted to put out. I love when he's talking to Stark and things like, hey, I modified your suit. And she's like, you need to work on your covert skills. Like, well, this is going to be awkward. Bam. He puts a shield on the bar.
Right. It was his timing too, of the timing of the deliveries of the line and everything. It was just so spot on, and just it was almost like there was a metronome going, and that's like whenever it clicks over to that next side, your line is better be delivered, and it's just click, click. So he's like, well, here it is, boom, bang. It's just like you said, that awkward. Well, this is going to be awkward, bam. It just everything that he did, especially when he was like, oh, am I interrupting something? Don't worry about me. Go ahead. Keep going. Pretend like I'm not even here. Just staring through the window right there.
And I dig that at one point she's fighting with a sword and a shield. I just think that's so dope.
Yes.
So dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. And she's going to obviously continue to do so because it went with her when she went through a portal that was opened up by the Red Skull. And that creature, the champion of Hydra, as he put it, who ended up fucking smashing him.
You're too late. I have summoned the champion of God.
Yeah.
No. Crush.
Yeah. Everybody else is like, oh my God. So that multi-dimensional creature is, I believe, also supposed to be one of those main villains of Doctor Strange.
Well, yeah, he definitely has this feeling. I mean, we'll definitely talk about this creature again very soon.
Yes,
but he definitely has this feel of like, this is the thing at the end of the world. When they talk about when you're all these dark creatures and entities, like this is it. This is the world ender event. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and we also, the previous episode talked about something bigger than possibly whatever Shang-Chi, the dragon soul sucker that Shang-Chi took down.
Yes.
Maybe this might be one of the big bads that they're going to have to fight, especially when you got Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and other things as well that this might connect to.
I mean, you see the Shang-Chi in the world, or Shang-Chi in the world of Doctor Strange are very, very much connected. So,
yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So a good first episode, like the little tag at the end where instead of Loki coming through the thing, it's her.
Yes.
And it's like, the war is over. That was 70 years ago. It's like, yeah, well,
right.
We won the war. And it's like, oh, she missed her dance with Steve.
Right. Yeah. And you can almost also hear her thoughts of like, I had a date.
Yeah.
It was the same line. So yeah, I quite enjoyed that episode, and it was a great starter for all of this. So I'm quite again happy with this series, and was quite happy with it off the bat.
Yes,
because it's so good. And then the next episode especially was not only well done, but it was one of those that was, I wouldn't say it was hard to watch, but it definitely had its moments of God damn it, because it's what if T'Challa became Star-Lord, and it was voiced by Chadwick Boseman.
Yes,
one of the last 4 things that he did, or one of the last things he did was 4 episodes of the What If series. It was great to watch and hard to watch, not hard to watch. You know what I'm saying? Yep. It was sad, and it was sad, but good to hear him at the same time. So
especially because I wrote one of my notes is like, such a nice guy, because he like everything he comes across is just like, no, we're going to help them out. Oh, there's this thing that's going to be, and we could feed billions of worlds and people. And it's just like, dude, like,
Right.
the dude's he's just a good dude.
Right.
Star-Lord turned into a gem,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Right out the gate, we definitely don't get the Star-Lord, who we have quite the different reaction.
Oh yes, because he's literally made a name for himself as this
Fanboy.
just legendary, fantastically awesome, good person, like you said, and enough to the point where later on in the show we see Thanos has been swayed from pulling off his genocidal fucking maniac idea.
Great running joke. It still sounds like genocide.
Right.
No, because it's random. He's like,
Right. Everybody's like, come on.
still sounds an awful lot like genocide. Love that.
Yeah, it's too good.
Yeah, I mean he turns the Ravagers around. He has Thanos change his mind. Like he's, like I said, just a really good dude. He's got
Right, and
Nebula.
he was also-
Cha-Cha. Like, what are we doing? It's a really good dude.
He was raised by good parents. He was raised to help everyone. He was raised without any racism or any fucking persecution of any kind. He was raised in a world where he was just a genuinely good kid who wanted to see more of that world. And then all of a sudden he got to see just the universe.
Does this look like the same kid? Look, two sea holes, one nose hole, one mouth hole. This
Right.
is what the killer.
Two
all
heroes.
humans look like to me.
Right.
You don't seem too freaked
Too
out
funny.
about this, kid. The old taser face.
Yep. The Adventures of Taserface and Razorfist.
Some cool things so I got Coming to America vibes with the whole intro when he's, oh my God, oh, it is you. Oh, this is the
Right.
greatest day of my life.
Happiest day of my life.
Because he's just, should we fight now? Should I put the gun down? Like, no, use the gun. Oh, no, but I feel like it would be, use the gun. Oh, so generous. Classic Star-Lord.
So, who was that? Oh, just someone I met in the bathroom.
Yeah. He brings his boy back.
God.
Take a picture, please. I remember this day for the rest of my life. For the rest of my life.
Rest of my life. They're just bowing. Too good. So yes, I got the same type of feels from that, but just the overall, like you said, fanboy feel that he was giving off. He's like, is this where we fight? And it's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hit you. No, just do it again. But this
Right.
time harder and faster. And boom. And then when he gets electrocuted, he's like, so
Classic
Star-Lord. Classic Star-Lord. Yes. And then just falls backwards. He's got a smile on his
again,
face, all passed out.
Such a nice
Yeah.
dude because he's going to leave him and he's like, I've recruited worse. And he brings him along. Like,
Right.
come on. Such a
Yep.
nice dude.
Yep.
Yeah,
Very
man,
cool.
Made me very much.
Good episode.
Made me very much miss Chadwick. But
Oh, yeah.
man,
How could it not?
great. So it was a great story. We got to see, got nice little cool Easter eggs when they go and see the collector, because
A very different collector.
He whips out his arsenal, and he's pretty much the new Thanos in a weird way, because he's
Right.
taken over the power vacuum there, and
And he's definitely got some
Man,
guns.
He showed like it took me the second time to watch that realized that he was attacking him with Cord's arm.
Right.
Oh, I got this off of Chatty fucking this. I was like, oh shit, he killed Cord and took his arm.
Yep. Yep.
Dude, I missed that.
And when he takes
Totally missed that the first
when he
time.
takes opens up his little armory there, and you got Captain America's shield,
Thor's hammer, Mew. You got
Thor's
Mew.
hammer, yeah, Meow Meow. So it just it was like, how the fuck did you get all that? What the hell happened to that point? Which I also dug.
His collection is very huge.
Right, because in the Guardians of the Galaxy comic books that I remember when I was a kid, basically the main character, I don't know if that was supposed to be Star-Lord, had Captain America's shield because this was way in the future. And he came by, I don't know how, Captain America's shield and ended up using it. So, yeah, when I saw that, and you have Star-Lord and, Guardians basically, and then you have the frickin' Captain America's shield right there, I was happy about that. Especially since when they announced that they were going to be doing Guardians of the Galaxy, and this was after, Avengers and everything, I thought, strange. So they're going to be doing something that's 1,000 years into the future. Anything can happen in that in between, but then it turns out that it's happening all at the same time. I went, oh, so you're not going to be able to get, the main character with Captain America's shield and be able to tie it in with tales of history and times forgotten. But yeah, so when I saw that, I was like, yeah, that was a nice little Easter egg. That was cool. Yeah, the overall fight moves and everything that you see, like you said, very fluid.
Yeah, the animation.
Very fluid animation.
The animation's really good.
It's not even like rotoscope. I don't know if they're using any type of motion capturing at all, but if they're not, bravo on this animation because it's really good.
Indeed.
The fight scenes are just so cool, especially when he does the double knee kick using the boosters.
Yeah.
On his heels, and he just, or on his ankles, and he just does the double knee kick into his fucking face and kicks him into that. Oh yeah, no, that was cool. Very slow motion too, and
I like cool. I like the hit when he's going through and the necklace lights up and he realizes the ship. It goes to the Wakandan drums and it just switches like they throw the music in.
Just
there.
The song too, the music. Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's just very, very well done. This episode. I mean, we'll say
especially that message
lot,
that he,
to go from the, you go that first one, then you pick up in the second one. It's like, man, I was like halfway through watching it again. I was like, man, this show just really it keeps you enthralled. You're like, this is so good. It's just really well done.
Yeah.
And then you get a nice little hit at the end where it's just like, meanwhile, the Ego shows up at a Dairy Queen.
Right.
Since Quill didn't get picked up, he's just still working at the Dairy Queen, and Ego shows up, and the Watcher goes, well, this could be the end of everything, but that's a story for another time.
Right.
Like, well, what do you mean?
Right. Well, Peter Quill's not really the action hero that he would have become had he become Star-Lord. So he's just basically this, I wouldn't say loser, but
normal.
He's this just normal dude, just mopping the floor. They did make him give this kind of like, he's still got his headphones, he's just mopping the floor. And it's like, oh, a guy mopping the floor at the Dairy Queen. It's like, well, it's a fucking job, but they do give it that like, oh, he's only just this guy. I was kind of like, you guys could probably just tone that back. Could have been any job. Don't be dick. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
on to the next one.
Which is, what if the world lost its mighty Avengers?
A good old Marvel whodunit.
Which was cool. I really, I was sitting there going, who the fuck is killing these people? But we get an episode where one after another, somebody is taking out the Avengers. It was cool. Like you said, a little Marvel whodunit, a little Marvel mystery, the double M. And it was really, I thought, well done, because I didn't get it until the last really, the last location that, they go on. And it was a complete mystery until it was absolutely obvious. And you go, oh yeah. And then when they show you everything and how it was done, pretty cool. I mean, starting off, you have them just, I believe they started off with killing Iron Man.
They basically recreate the morning after he gets into the drunk fight with Rhodey at the house and he's eating in the donut. They pretty much go from right there.
Yeah.
They go and they're going to talk to him about, they go and give him what they think is going to cure him. It's pretty much going line for line until he starts to die. Then you're like, wait, and then we start to veer. And they get him. Then they get Thor.
Right. In between that, though, that fight that Black Widow has when she's escaping, because they basically blame Black Widow for it.
Oh, right.
So when she's in that truck or in the back of the transport vehicle, And she basically just goes, here, can you hold this for a second? The guy's like, yeah, sure, no problem. And she kicks the shit out of all of them when she's handing the handcuffs.
Fucking crossbones in the front. Like, I get it. She could fight, but.
Right. Then you just hear the booms. Yeah. It's like, dum, dum, dum. Like, what the hell is that? Oh, pull over. Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, great scene. And again, fluid action.
Yep.
You can see everything happen. It's not one of those, like, when certain things you're just like, did he just get punched or kicked? No, it's like you can tell. You can see it all. So, yeah, that was all cool. And then, yeah, like you said, the next one up was Thor. And in the scene, it's kind of hard not to blame him, but, yeah, Hawkeye shoots him with an arrow. And at this point, because doesn't have the power of Thor and he's just a regular man, yeah, he dies. Just
they do
right
this
there.
really great recreation of Thor breaking into that facility too.
Yes, and Coulson's lines, I was dying. I was on the floor laughing. If I was actually able to go on the floor, I was on my couch laughing.
His hair is magnificent.
It's like
what?
What? It's like it's not an exaggeration, sir. He's gorgeous.
Yeah. Renner was up top like Coulson wasn't lying about the hair.
He does have some really good hair.
Even rotting, he smells like lavender.
And then as Fury walks out of the room, he just kind of goes, just gives him a nice little sniff before he goes. Just
Fury doesn't agree. He just takes a sniff and just
yeah. Yeah. Too good. So yeah, you have that happen, and then when they hold Barton in the same holding cell that they hold Thor in the Thor movie,
right.
They go in to talk to him, and as he goes in to talk to him, he just falls over dead.
He's already freaking dead.
Already dead. So just one after another, they're taking these people out. Who are they? Who is this doing what they are doing? So after that, you still have Black Widow on the run, and she's trying to figure some things out, and she goes and visits Betty Ross.
My favorite part of the entire episode, because we basically get a recreation of the Incredible Hulk movie with Mark Ruffalo.
Yes. Yes.
The reset that they were kind of wanting to do, they got to do.
Which they can still do if they really wanted to put the money into it. They would just have to reshoot all of it. But,
so you
that's
get to
universal.
see, and it's awesome because he's stepping out of the closet because he's been there the whole time. And that whole scene was great. She's like, yeah, you also have to find Bruce Banner. Yeah, I think I already did.
Right.
Like she's just...
And that was also after they had given the clue that something else had come out of the syringe. Mm-hmm. That something had bursted its way through, and that's why the tip of the syringe is slightly broken the way it is. So yeah, and he comes out of the closet. And you hear Mark Ruffalo,
looking super younger and all that, because it's supposed to be way before a lot of stuff. So.
Right.
He's rocking like the super short hair and all that. And it's just like, look at that. And then it's a Mark Ruffalo Hulk talking to a Black Widow with no romantic, because that hasn't happened. So.
No, and plus, he's all about Betty at that point.
He's all about Liv Tyler. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, whoever the voice actress
was. Because no, they weren't.
Yes.
They weren't going to write. Again, if they had to write up a whole new contract, they were like, never mind. And I'm pretty sure they weren't going to go and say, hey, Liv Tyler, you want to come and do some lines? Or like, nah, we can.
Nope, we're good.
We got it.
Right.
We're going to take.
Which they can still do with the whole multiverse of madness or whatever the fuck they're going to do with this whole multiverse thing that they're definitely implying is going to be here for at least, the next 3-4 movies. So, yeah, but. Yeah, so they end up having to get out of there because
General
the military
Ross
comes. General Ross.
Good old General Ross.
And they end up in the same kind of in-between bridge hallway that he was in, that glass hallway that he was in the original movie.
Yep.
And he's basically, given the order to everybody hold your fire, Ross has, but then somebody ends up shooting him in the shoulder. he asks who fired that shot, and then Hulk gets really pissed and then starts to bust out the way he did, lands on the ground, smashes some things up, but then doesn't feel quite right.
Man.
And then he doesn't look quite right.
Man.
Like, that was...
He freaking explodes, Jay.
Oh, dude, like, not just explodes. It's not just your average boom. It's like everything is just swelling up and the... It was just like, okay, yeah.
Watching it again.
It's like, okay,
watching it again
blowing
last
bubbles
night,
into okay.
Lord, this was brutal the second time. It's like,
Yeah. Think blowing bubbles in chocolate milk, but if those bubbles were able to affect the saran wrap that it was in, and then create just more pressure and pressure and pressure and pressure. If you haven't seen it, that's basically what
painful.
it is. Yeah, everything about it looked bad.
Painful.
Like that,
We're just like, oh shit.
nothing about that made me go, oh, well, that. I mean, you could have survived that. No, there was nothing left.
Yeah.
Get a mop. So Hulk dies, and while again on the run, trying to figure some stuff out, Black Widow does some research and finds a clue while being attacked by whoever this person is, and she gets tossed around like a frickin' rag doll.
Yeah, it's brutal.
There was no
chance.
Yeah, none.
Hope
whatsoever.
It's all about hope.
It's all about hope, and we all have hope in life through the worst of times. So what the fuck does that mean? It's like, well, as long as you have hope, Nick. Because she leaves that message for Fury. I think Fury actually calls, she leaves the message and just says it's all about hope. You got to have a little hope, Fury. Have a little faith.
Sure.
Yeah. So he's sitting there at a diner trying to figure it out, which is the same diner I believe that they used for Funny Thing Happened on the Way to Thor's Hammer, the short that they do with Agent Coulson, where they're talking about, well, basically talking about what happened. But there was also another one. No, I think that's the same episode. Funny Thing Happened on the Way to Thor's Hammer. It's when they're talking about how to get whatchamacallit, trying to convince Ross and try to make it so that way they don't use the Abomination for the Avengers Initiative, because Abomination to them would just be a loose cannon. So how do we make it so that way we want to ask him, but then at the same time we want to make him go, no, we got to just lock this dude up.
Right.
So they sent Tony Stark, the one guy that would annoy the shit out of him, and boy, did he.
Tony he's good at that.
Yep.
He's good at that.
Yep. So that was that same diner. And
now we have talked about that in the middle of all this. Fucking Loki has popped down and been like, hey, y'all, so here's the thing. My brother died here, and I'm not happy about it.
no, we haven't. I don't think we have. Yeah.
Pretty important.
Yes, we have to talk about
I was
that.
sitting there thinking, I was like, wait, we have to mention that after the death of Thor, Brother Loki comes down with some people, and he's like, so I'm going to declare war here because my brother died. I'm not happy about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he comes
gives
down.
him, 24, till the sun rises, basically overnight, I guess.
Yes.
It feels like 24 hours. It's like by the time the sun comes up again in Midgard, y'all better have some answers.
And then he goes to the graveyard.
Goes to the graveyard.
And when he shows up at the graveyard, we see a grave for Hope Van Dyne, also known as the Wasp.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, when he's sitting there looking at or at least standing there looking at the gravestone, sure enough, we have somebody who sounds like Michael Douglas, because it is Hank Pym dressed like Yellow Jacket. So Hank Pym has lost his mind, somehow then dressing like Yellow Jacket. And we kind of get revealed that Hope had been working for S.H.I.E.L.D. and died. And I guess Hank decided to go a little nuts and take it all out on everybody else in the Avengers.
Indeed. And you get to see how he's able to commit each of the murders. Busting out of the thing and gets Tony before the antidote hits, makes Hawkeye's finger, twitch so that he looses the arrow. And,
Right.
you get to see all the little ways that he was able to put everybody down, and you're just like, what the fuck, Michael Douglas?
Right.
You know?
Literally goes into the Hulk's bloodstream and then
dude.
throws one of those, enlarging devices at one of his, at just like one of his blood cells, and it just duplicates and boom.
Crazy.
Fucked up.
Yeah, it's just there's some brutalness going on with these deaths, man. He wants to make it. It hurts. It hurts your feelings,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
But Hank decides, oh, then I'm gonna get you too, and tries to fight the old Nick Fury. But Nick Fury is real limber for his age,
Yeah.
a little spry.
Little?
Yeah,
That guy was doing like Spider-Man jumps.
yeah,
Yeah.
like standing with his hands behind his back, can't get hit.
Right.
You're just like, okay.
Blocking every single thing. Just whop.
Uh-huh.
Boom, boom, boom.
Now, when I was
Chan
watching this in real time, first time, I was sitting there with my lady, and she called it well before I figured it out. She said it out loud, and she was like, I know what's going on. I'm like, I am still very confused. But, you know, it's a great reveal. Come to find out, that is actually not Nick Fury.
No. Especially when Nick Fury starts to duplicate.
It's a bit of trickery.
And he's everywhere, and then he gets really big, and then he smashes down on him.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the trickster himself, the god of mischief, Loki.
Master of the hair flip.
That's right.
Of the hair whip.
The hair whip. Does it every time.
He whips it hard, man.
Yeah. I'll never not see that video, or never not see that anymore. Just look up Loki hair whip. You'll find it, folks. And you can never unsee it, and you'll see it every time.
And you'll enjoy it.
Oh, yeah.
You'll find and you'll enjoy it.
Yep.
It's great.
Yep.
It's great. But yeah, a little bit of trickery. They seem they've struck an accord, and they kind of teamed up and it's like, hey, I found the guy you're looking for, but I need a little bit of help. And they're able to take Hank into custody.
Yeah, and you had Hank basically, just like saying, at least honor her.
Right. And
Right.
Fury's trying
Honor her.
Fury's trying to, like, but we do, and we did. Like, the hell? What do you think all this was for? Like, this is why we're doing all this, So. And then he's like, and it's like, oh, so great. Everything's great. We found your killer, Loki. You can go on back to Asgard. And classic Loki. Loki goes, nah.
I kind of like it here.
Yeah.
I think I'll stay.
I think I'll just do what I originally set out to do, and I think I'll just take this motherfucker over. So, strap in,
What do you
folks.
say? It was 6 days?
Yeah, strap in, folks.
6 days, the entire world just kind of handed over the reins over to him. Like, nah, we're good. You obviously are going to destroy us. Here you go.
Right.
And then gives his classic Loki speech, where it's basically you were all, you were born to be ruled, or whatever it is. Yeah,
Right. That whole, his whole thing.
Yep.
The speech he's practiced 1,000 times in the mirror in his room.
Yep.
For that.
Absolutely.
And his moment finally came. This is it.
Right.
We're all just a bunch of mewling quims. My favorite Loki.
Yep.
My favorite Loki insult, because I have no idea what it means, but it just sounds terrible. It sounds like something you really don't want to be called.
Oh, you don't know what a quim is?
No, I don't.
It's like calling somebody a cunt.
I figured just because of the way it was delivered. Like you don't deliver that line that way. You mewling quim.
Yeah.
Like listen to the way a young Draco Malfoy just throws like fucking filthy little mud blood. You're just like, ooh, you're not supposed to say that word.
Right.
I can tell, and I tell it's meant to insult because you delivered it with some malice. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's definitely a vulgar slang for a vagina.
Shit.
So, and when they said that in Avengers, I was shocked. I was like, ho. Having been raised at the Ren Fair, you learn certain words that you're not supposed to say, and you're also that you can say without I guess insulting the masses that don't understand those words.
Well, that just means the rest of the people were just like me in the theater going, don't know what that means, but it sounded vicious. Take it.
Yep.
Sounds like something Loki should say. Awesome.
Yep. Might as well. He just basically called her a mewling cunt. So.
Well, shit.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Then I'm glad I haven't said that to anyone yet. I'm going to save it and reserve it for someone who really deserves it. So, good.
Yep. Just like I reserve cunt for men.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
Not expecting that one.
What are you gonna do about it, motherfucker?
You add that one in, it's like slapping them in the face with sound.
get so
Like, I'm so
mad.
sorry. What did you just call me?
They get so mad.
Do it. Yep. Yep.
But this forces Nick Fury to go on ahead, and he's got to look for some heroes. So we see him sweep back some ice and see the shield. And then he uses the beeper, and Captain Marvel pops down like, what's the job? What are we doing? Heard you had some trouble. So it's gonna be Nick Fury and the team versus Loki for the fight of this world. But that's a story for another time. As the
Which
Watcher would
I'm
say.
really hoping that's what some of season 2 can be. A continuation of some of these timelines. Or if everything gets solved within the next couple of years because of Multiverse of Madness and
Yeah, we'll have to see how the
into
Multiverse of Madness plays out, man. Well, what's coming first? Multiverse of Madness or Loki season 2? Well, we don't know. They could drop
I'm
Loki
thinking,
season 2 at any time. Like, here y'all go. We did it.
I think it's Multiverse of Madness.
I think, yeah.
And then, we're going to have season 2 at some point. But
Yeah, so we'll see how the multiverse plays out. That's going to have big implications for how Loki season 2 plays out.
right.
But I definitely think they're going to keep some of these timelines for sure, especially the one we're going to talk about. I think that's going to be super important.
Yes. So yeah, we might as well just jump into that one because the next one is the Doctor Strange episode.
Boy.
And what an episode. That was probably one of the darkest episodes of the season, if not the darkest episode.
I think it's some of the most dark, thought-provoking things that the MCU has put out.
Yeah.
Where we had that feeling of like, oh, Lord, at the end of Infinity War. But in the back of your mind, you're going, well, they're still going to win.
Right.
They're gonna find a way to win because this story doesn't end with the snap. Like,
Right.
they're gonna bring people back. Now it's just a matter of like how they're going to do it and who they're going to lose along the way.
Mm-hmm.
With this episode here, this whole thing wraps up and you're just like, well, shit.
Right.
That just happened. Like, he lost, and what do you do? Like, he's just there.
Right. Well, let's get to
Crazy.
that because when you start the episode, it's basically, it's Doctor Strange and he's doing his thing, but this time he's taking his date and why I can't remember her name.
Christine Palmer.
Christine.
Yeah, I watched him fresh last night, so
Right.
I was like, yeah.
So
super
he
on
actually
board.
takes Christine. She actually ends up going with him to this dinner speech that he was going to be giving.
Right.
And instead of him getting his hands crushed, she ends up dying.
She does indeed. Because what if Doctor Strange didn't lose his hands,
Yes.
but he lost his heart?
Yes. And boy, does he. Because the fact that when he goes and he learns the magic, not to fix his hands, but to...
Yeah, still goes
Bring
on the
her
same.
back.
Yeah, still goes on the same journey
Right.
for discovery. Still, in a sense, the movie still plays out. He still sees Dormammu. It's still like the whole thing is still going, except his motivation is different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he decides to use the time stone, and he just goes back to that time trying
Yeah,
to
he's
stop.
sitting there. He has this great point. He's sitting there, and Wong comes out, and he's like, "I had to use a little sorcerer's room." And how long has it been? No, it's been 2 years. Like, I'm gonna go put the kettle on before you do something reckless.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Also voiced by Benedict Wong, which was
also
cool.
voiced by Benedict Wong comes back to play Wong. They pretty much, this is one of the episodes they were pretty much able to get a lot of the major players.
Yes, I don't think that they've got Tilda Swinton.
They did
And
indeed.
and
get
they didn't get...
that is
Did
Tilda
they?
Swinton. Indeed.
Oh, well, good. Good. I didn't see that. But the girl who played Christine, I don't think was the same.
That is Rachel McAdams.
I'm just going to cut all this out. She's pretty much not going to be in the episode. I can never be wrong. I'm just saying. It's not allowed. It's not allowed on my own fucking podcast.
Hey
I have
man,
to sound
if I'm up here
professional as
giving
possible.
apologies to the fucking Sam Whitner. Is it Whitner or is it Whitwer? What's the correct one? Is it Whitwer? Whitner?
Yeah, Sam Whitwer.
Whitwer. See, if I have to give apologies to the Whitwer family and the entire Whitwer estate for something that I super loved, and I was just like, we have to give props to this person, and people are like, you don't even know his name. Sometimes we got to be wrong, man. But hey, that's also what's good about being the man behind the editing button. If you don't want it to be there, it's not going to be there. That never happened. Like, nope.
Right?
Yeah, they got all the hitters for this, man. Yeah, they
It's
got
pretty cool.
Benedict, of course, is doing Strange. Tilda Swinton comes in. Benedict Wong, Rachel McAdams. They even got what's her name? I was just looking at her name. But she plays, because they do that news report in the middle of it when
Oh.
they went and got, she plays Christine Emerson. That's the same woman. It's something Bibb. Leslie Bibb, I think the young lady's name is.
Isn't it Everhart?
Yeah, I think it's Christine Everhart or something like that.
Yeah.
Who Pepper Potts gets to throw hella shade to.
Right.
In Iron Man 1's like, he sometimes lets me take out the trash. Like, ooh, Pepper, spicy.
Yeah.
Get
Will there
spicy.
be anything else? Yeah.
Get spicy with it.
Right. She's actually doing a piece on me. Well, that's pretty funny because she actually did a piece on Tony as well, and she also did a story about me. So, yeah, I'm a dork.
We're all so we're here.
Yeah. So he then ends up going back to change it all, and every time he tries to change it, she dies. Does not matter what he does.
And he does a bunch of different things. It doesn't matter. Oh, I'm gonna obey the rules of the road. Still gets hit from behind. I'm gonna have you drive. Still gets hit from behind. Oh, we made it to the dance, but she had like a heart attack or something weird and she dies.
Right.
Oh, we're just gonna go get some pizza. Somebody robs a pizza joint. She gets shot. She dies. I'm gonna stay home and not even come get you. She goes back into her apartment. The apartment explodes. She dies. It's just
100% nothing he could do, and he starts to lose his shit.
Why does this keep happening? Aren't we allowed to be happy? And you get to hear Benedict Cumberbatch out acting everyone in the room. Mm-hmm. Why does this keep happening? Until finally, like, Ancient One's like, yo, you gotta knock it off, man. You're gonna break everything.
Yeah, no, she ends up informing him that it is a fixed point in time.
Mm-hmm. And you can't change.
It cannot be changed.
Yep.
Yeah.
A principal fixed point in time, and principal fixed points in times cannot be changed. And
Yes, and
Benedict's
by
basically
changing
going,
it, you can just destroy the entire
"Well,
fabric
fuck
of the
all
universe.
this shit up." And Benedict goes, "Bullshit.
Right,
I don't believe you."
right.
And she's like, "I'll stop you if I have to," and tries to throw some whammy on him, and then boom, he wakes up in Fern Gully.
That's right. Has no idea where he is, and he sees somebody in front of him who's not responding. He's doing the classic, do you speak English?
Right.
I'm like,
Which,
oh my
come
God.
on, right.
Well, if they speak English, they understand you. You don't have to talk like this.
They probably speak
That
ABC.
always bugs me.
Fine. No, myself as well. Just
It's like, you
talk.
could say, do you speak English?
Yeah.
And if they do, it's cool. And if they don't, talking like this won't help any bit more.
Because talking like this makes it seem like you don't speak English very well.
Right. Do you speak English?
Do you
At
understand
that point,
the
they just
words
start
that are
signing
coming out
back
of
to
my
them like,
mouth?
are you deaf? Like,
And just like most people do, when you talk to them like that, he just kind of turns on them, leaves.
walks away. Yeah. Like, dickhead. All right.
But, he walks through Fern Gully and comes to a cliff and sees a fancy old library. He was looking for the library of Cogliostro.
That has no stairs whatsoever to get to it. No tunnel, no cave that you can enter.
Because you have to be about your shit to enter the library.
That's right.
In fact, he appreciates that. He's like, no door. That's clever. Something like that. Mm-hmm. And just does a whirling dervish entry into the library. And we get to meet Obang.
Oh,
It's got one of the coolest names in the MCU, Obang.
Yeah. And I believe he ends up asking Strange what he's wearing.
He goes, "You must be one of the most strangely dressed sorcerers I've ever seen." He's like, "Well, it's Armani."
Yes.
And he goes, "Okay, awesome. Come with me." He's like, "Come this way, Armani." He's like, "No, it's Strange." No stranger than the other name.
Right.
Love it.
Yeah. No, I think that was just one of those perfect little moments and very well written.
Reminds me of, who are you? I'm Stephen Strange. Oh, we're using our made-up names. Awesome. I am Spider-Man.
Right. Oh, even so much of it's like, when he goes, Mr. He goes, Doctor, actually. And he goes, Mr. Doctor.
Doctor.
It's Strange. And he goes, who am I to judge? Those little quick moments. And I think that's going to be just nothing but a running gag for the next bit of time, possibly. The next couple of his movies, he's going to introduce himself as Doctor Strange or just Strange. And they're going to be like, Mr. Strange, actually, it's Doctor. And then something's going to happen. And yeah. So we'll see what happens. But he then, I guess, starts practicing different arts of magic that he has never learned before. He just reads and reads and reads and does not stop, and he starts trying new things.
He reads and then finds the one passage just like, oh yeah, it's you have to find the power through the absorption of others. And he goes, oh, absorption of others. Awesome. So he creates his little summoning circle, and who does he summon? Just the boss of all bosses, good old tentacle monster we've seen, and even he's like,
well, before that, yeah, I mean, oh, that's right, that was the first thing no, the first one he did, didn't he say I got to start off slow, or is that because
that's why he has to start off slow, because the first thing he tries to bring up is good old tentacle monster. Tentacle monster picks him up and whacks him on the floor, and Obang's like, yeah, you can't do that.
Right. Well, I was wrong, so I'm going to edit this out.
You can't make bargains with Ancient Ones. They're not trying to hear that shit.
Right.
You can't control them. And that's when he goes, he was like, well, I'm not going to quit. So then he goes back, and that's when he's like, yeah, let's start small.
Right.
And
did we mention that it's probably the tentacle monster from the first episode?
I mean, what else could it be?
Right.
It's our big baddie. It's our big bad friend.
And once again, I believe that's a Doctor Strange bad guy.
I think that's for sure going to come back around. We're going to see. Yeah. And I think in Multiverse of Madness, we're going to get the live action Tentacle Beast. I think that's going down. I think that's going down for sure.
Right.
Yeah. But then he starts absorbing monsters, and he definitely does start small, because we get an angry. we start when he's like, oh, we're going to start small. We get probably the cutest little angry gnome ever to live, just a mad
glowing green eyes.
He does this whole like eyes light up, mouth lights up, and he just fucking absorbs this goddamn gnome.
Yeah.
The next one's great because he pops up and it's a bug with a cape. He snatches the cape, but he's like, I don't mess with bugs. So he sends the bug back down. I draw the line at bugs. Right. But he snatches his nice cape. I draw a line of bugs, though.
He might as well just done the bug, because the way he ends up looking after all this is, yeah.
And then, he's there, not hours, Justin. Not days, Justin.
No.
He does this for years.
Yes.
It feels like when you first get the passage of time, you're like, oh, wow, he's there for a number of days. They just fast forward day, night. But then they show where, like, literally the foliage around the place has withered away, and a mountain has grown. Like, he's there for years.
Yes. To the point where, I mean, even Obang is then, when he sees him on his deathbed.
Right.
Like, this is
where
it.
he comes in, he's like, what happened to you? And Obang's like, time, motherfucker. Like, what? While you frozen yourself at a certain fixed point in time, I've been living, brother. Like, what do you think? You think this place runs itself? Like, I've left you to your studies and stuff, man, but I'm doing my thing, man. Living.
And he even gave, like Strange was like, well, let me fix that. And he's like, no.
Hell no. Yeah, this is it. People have to die. This is what happens. I can't accept that.
It's the one thing we all have in common.
Right. That's not my problem.
Right.
Maybe that's your problem, is you can't accept it, man,
Yeah.
But he ends up becoming powerful enough to absorb Big Tentacle, because he comes through and he, like, cuts it halfway through and absorbs the tentacles, and now he's this now he's evil Sorcerer Supreme Doctor Strange. Yeah, I think this is when this is when. How do we? I'm trying to remember. I did just watch it. I'm trying to remember.
I'm trying to do the same
trying to
thing.
remember
How
how
do we
the
get to the point
how
where
the transition. I think the ancient one visits either him. Oh yeah, the ancient one visits him, or the ancient one finally goes back to the other doctor. Oh no, it's the Watcher. Because the Watcher's just like, you know, he's not.
Oh yeah,
the Watcher's
while
like,
this all happened,
he's not even the only Doctor Strange in this universe. And because it turns out
right.
that the Ancient One has, when she does the little whammy on Strange, she basically split the timeline at that point. So where there's the one that goes to Fern Gully, we see the other one where when he goes, let me put the kettle on so you don't do something reckless. He goes, yeah, you're right. Enough living.
And actually has a cup of tea.
Enough living for the past and the day. But he walks outside and shit's all fucked up. Stuff is liquidating.
Like it looks like one of those not lava lamps.
Yeah, well,
but just one of those like little toys that had the blue oil in it in the water, and it would just like float upwards. That's what it looked like.
Yeah. Yeah. And Strange is like, well, this is odd.
Yeah.
And
that's definitely not a normal thing.
Ancient One pop up again. And she's like, hey. And he's like, but you're dead. And she's like, I'm like some kind of astral projection. Just think of me like that.
Yeah.
What's going on? Like, well, you are fucking up. He's not you, but, you know, another version of you. And you're the only one that can stop him. So.
Yeah, because you made the right decision. He didn't. Right. So you guys need to
had to use the power of the Dark Dimension to split the timeline, which Chiwetel Ejiofor somewhere is going, I told you about that shit.
Right. What did I say? This is why we can't have nice universes.
God damn it. Does no one listen?
Right. This is how we get variants.
This is how you have to end up making bargains in the first place. You have to talk to Dormammu 15,000 times. So, Chiwetel Ejiofor, way cooler than that, by the way. You know, but
we will see. We will see.
We will see.
We've already seen.
He's gonna pop up. I'm waiting for him to pop back up, man. I'm waiting for him to pop back up.
Well, you know. I mean, it's definitely going to be for Loki, and I don't even think that we're getting the full, for like 100% Kang at that point. We're just going to get a variant of Kang, and then we're going to get the Mega Kang, and
yeah,
shit's going to go down. And I just feel like Kang's like again he's the Loki of Avengers, like you had said. You know, Loki was the main bad guy for Avengers, and all of a sudden at the end of Avengers, you get introduced to Thanos. So we're going to get Kang, and then Kang's going to not be working for somebody else. But I think that because of all this, it's going to wake up something else or somebody else that's even worse than him. So it just sets the bar even higher to the point where you then get that tension of how the hell is anybody going to get out of this? So yeah. So then he ends up just straight getting pulled into that universe, that timeline. Or Strange, the good Strange does.
He's sitting there with Wong while Wong's sitting there liquidating in front of him. He's just like, but do you want to save this universe? He's like, well, if anything, to save you, look at you, man. It's like you're melting in front of me. And all of a sudden...
extremely calm, too.
Yeah, not tripping. Kayla said the same thing. She was just like, he's taking that really well. And I'm like, yeah, well, he probably can't truly feel it in a way. Or maybe he can. I don't know. It didn't seem like it was painful because you had all those people that were just kind of like walking about their lives.
Right.
But like just deteriorating. So they may not even be aware it's completely happening.
Right.
In a roundabout way. Because, yeah, he's very calm. But all of a sudden, yeah, this little portal opens up and it's like, well, how are you going to find him? Well, I think he found me. Woo, good luck. Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, bamps down and gets to see, they get to have some evil twin talk. Where he's basically just like, they didn't know. We loved Christine. He's like, yeah, we did, but come on, man. This is what happens when we don't let go. This is our need. Like he tells me, he's like, this is our need to fix everything. This isn't good, you know? And he's like, I'll show you. And then we get to see Strange v. Strange.
That was cool.
It was epic. In my notes, I wrote in all caps, Strange v. Strange. It was epic.
Yep.
That was some good stuff, man.
In my brain notes, all I put down was Kirby dots.
In my brain. Yeah. Because he's the evil Strange is whipping some fireballs and stuff at him, and on the edges, the
Fireballs, the beams,
little Kirby dots around the
God.
edges around there, man. And he's getting the shields, and Wong does put this really cool enchantment on him.
Right.
He puts it on his forehead, and then he has all these little glyphs that go over his face, and yeah, every time he gets hit, just some of the little glyphs fall off, but it's protecting him.
Right.
You know, so they have this great big knockout, drag out fight. And
it really was one too.
Yeah.
It went on a little bit.
they went for it, man.
Yeah.
They fucking went for it.
They were trying
a bunch of stuff
everything to
whipping
the
out.
point where even the cape was protecting him, and then there was a cape fight.
Yeah, we got to see Cape v Cape.
Yes.
That's what I also have in caps underneath Strange v Strange. It was like, hey, Cape v Cape.
Right.
You know, this good one where like you see the Cape trying to go left and right. The Cape's like, where you going? Where you going? You want to go this way? No.
You can't go. You can get no. Can't get past me. No. I'm right here.
Yeah,
Huh?
man.
Yeah.
The
And then
fucking Cape.
tragically, the more powerful cape won.
I mean, the more powerful Cape won, and to be honest, the more powerful Strange won.
Yes, he did.
There's not much you can do when a dude has literally absorbed some of the most powerful entities in the known universes, plural, and you're still just Sorcerer Supreme Doctor Strange. So much to the point where after all of that, the beating and all that, he has him pinned down, and he literally just takes a little signal off his forehead and just whoop, just kind of swipes left.
Yeah.
Just kind of goes, whoop, that's gone now. And then we have this really cool absorption moment where he absorbs Doctor Strange, and it's like the back, you get to see it from the front where the back gets levitated up and then they join, and it's a really cool little shot
Yeah.
of them coming together. And then seems like, boom, he's ready to do what he set out to do, but there are some side effects and some major consequences to what's just happened.
Oh yeah. I mean, the whole place is already deteriorating.
Yep.
All around them while they're doing this.
Yep.
And he has taken them back to that time, right, where the car is, stuck in the
Yeah,
water
it's-
and she's dead there. So the moment that he absorbs Strange, he then just goes, and let's do this. Fucking brings her back in a bright glowing blue light. She's supposedly back, but he also looks like every single thing that he just absorbed, put into a blender.
Yep.
He was worried about bugs. Like, oh, I don't do bugs. It's like, well, look at you, bro.
Yeah.
Just what? A frickin' antennae was gonna frickin' mess with you? Like, really, bro? Like, you can't say that. Like, I don't do bugs, but I'll do all the rest of them. Where was his little gnome hat, by the way? That was my one
That
complaint.
was years ago, Justin.
He should have had a gnome
That was
hat.
years
Through all of that, it should have been like on like his shoulder
had the
or
teeth.
something at least. Was it? Were those the teeth?
Yeah,
Like,
little jagged edge,
okay.
the teeth. That was about his. Yeah. Because he had the horns, he had like a half a tentacle wrapped around him. He had all the, he had like the wings and a bunch of arms, and there was a lot of like shadow playing things going on too. So,
Right.
like he'd be in the
Oh,
shadows.
there's an airplane. Everybody, can you hear it? Because I'm not going to edit that one out. Yeah, everybody gets an airplane on this episode. It's a long laster. So yeah, no, I think they should have added the hat.
That's funny. That would have been
Sorry, I
good.
didn't mean
No,
to
not at all.
interrupt, but
I'm trying to
yeah,
envision it with just a little hat and just like,
Yeah.
that's
Just a
funny.
little red hat,
That's funny. Or at least the beard, at least a little gnome beard.
right?
Do I need a shave? Why are you looking at
Right.
me like that?
What's the matter? I've got eyes on my fucking shoulders.
And-
yeah.
and so-
So that's normal.
So the world starts to fucking collapse.
As she's panicking,
Because she's
just
freaked out. And
absolutely
then
terrified.
He
yeah,
kind of realizes, like, oh shit, hold on, I must look a fright. Let me look like, boom, something you recognize. But by then, they're sitting on this little floating piece of land, and well, I wouldn't just say the world, the universe is collapsing in on itself. And
everything. Yeah,
I didn't mean for this to happen.
yeah. He brought her back literally to watch her deteriorate too.
Oh no, what have I done?
He brought her back just to watch her die, because there was nothing you could do. It's like everything is deteriorating. It's like, where's your magic spell to make it so that way she doesn't? He didn't even think about that one. Like, I'll bring her back. Right. But how are you going to stop all this? So that kind of seems like a bit of a, you overlooked something You didn't know how to stop it all. So you should have probably done that. It was like, like he says in the movie, you should probably finish reading the spells. The warnings come after. You probably should have finished reading his spells, because I'm betting there was a warning like, yeah, you can bring anybody back, but if everything's supposed to go and she's still supposed to go, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
Which he basically got that warning, but whatever. So
Right.
then, everything starts collapsing around him. And as he's trying to stop it, and you're seeing all this almost like gem-like diamond, like you're seeing through diamonds or glass, and he's able to see the
feels
Watcher.
like he's throwing this, like he's throwing up like this crystal or whatever.
Yeah,
Or something.
something for
like,
protection.
little protector thing.
Yeah. And he's able to see the Watcher at that point, which
Now,
we
not
kind
the first time he actually, not the first time he actually saw the Watcher.
Yeah, no,
or sensed the Watcher.
we glossed over that one.
We did.
Yeah.
We should not have.
No.
Because that was a pretty big thing. It's in like the midpoint where he's absorbing creatures, and then all of a sudden Watcher kind of pops up and he's like, well, he's on the wrong path. I wonder if I should say something, because this is not going to end well. Nah, I can't interfere. And then, Strange is like,
Hello?
so you're like, oh, snap.
Yeah.
I can sense the Watcher.
I liked that part.
That was a good part.
The main character being able to hear the narrator, and the interaction, or at least, slight brief interaction, was, breaking that third wall, fourth wall, fifth wall, whatever you want to call it in this situation.
Just adds to this, what we're going to get into when we kind of wrap this whole thing of what I like to call the evolution of the Watcher. How he almost goes from just a narrator to a character to what we will find out much later.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes.
But the world is collapsing, and Strange kind of calls out to him. He sees him. He's like, you can stop this. You can help me. And Watcher's like, nah, I can't interfere.
It's like, I can't stop it, and that's why I
You
warned
brought
you.
this on yourself.
Yeah.
You brought you were warned a couple times. Like, hey,
Yeah.
you should have just went and had tea with your boy.
Right.
But no.
He's like,
So, yeah.
like, even if I could stop it, I don't know if I should. I think it's one of the things he
Right.
said. So,
Which will, again, this episode becomes a nice pinpoint in this series of like, okay, this is all going to come back a little later.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at
Yeah.
that point, everything collapses completely around him, and he is then stuck in this floating gem, which consists of the ground that was around or underneath him and nothing else. And he is floating through nothingness. Because
Well, and he gets to sit there, and Christina's there, but she basically gets to fade away in his arms.
Yep.
Her last words is, Stephen, what have you done?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
gone. And then the Watcher just, one decision could end the universe. And then the show's over, man. And you're like, holy shit, that was dark.
yes,
Man,
Yes.
but so good. So
yeah.
good.
That's why this one
Such good storytelling.
is in my top 3, 100%, because like not everything was honky dory. Not everything was like, this is what happens when it ends and blah blah blah.
Yeah, we were having fun up until, and when you know it, it's kind of like you're like the thing I always say about Thor Ragnarok, where I was like, hey y'all, we're gonna make this movie light and fun, and it's gonna be great, and everybody's gonna cheer through it, because at the end of this, it's gonna start to get real.
Yep.
Because remember Thanos was coming? Yeah, no, Thanos is here now.
Yeah.
and it's gonna get real, and it's gonna get real.
That's why they put
This is
Ant-Man
when
in
this
between.
is when this is when the show starts to get real, where it's like, hey, we've been having fun up to this point. We've been telling you all these good stories.
Yeah.
Here's a bad one.
Yeah.
Here's a bad one.
That's definitely why they put Ant-Man and the Wasp in between Endgame, and well, you still had to as well, but you give them a little bit of a lighthearted moment in between Infinity War and Endgame, because yeah, it ends off with oh god, and then fade
into
to black.
that
Like,
one.
oh
yeah.
boy,
Even I love it because even the beginning of Endgame, it's just like, hey y'all, we just want to remind you at the beginning of the movie that shit's fucked.
Right.
Like, remember Hawkeye? Remember the character y'all love? Yeah. We're gonna take his family.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna give you opening credits. Just to remind you, yeah, things suck.
Yep,
Things suck.
absolutely.
Yeah. Speaking of things suck, the next episode, good lord.
They suck, and things suck, and things bite
Man.
too.
I'll tell you this much. Leave it to Marvel to kind of go, okay, listen, y'all, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do zombies. And you just hear this, oh, we don't want, and it's like, wait. Hear me out. But these zombies retain their muscle memory and their memory of what they are. What do you mean? Well, basically put it to you like this. Say you're a zombie and all you want is brains, right? Yeah. Now say you're Captain America and all you want is brains. And how you go about getting that. Because you still fight like Captain America. You still kind of think like Captain America, except you're a zombie.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep. Well, I never read the zombie issues.
Whoa.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah. There were zombie issues in Marvel Comics.
I believe it.
This is not a completely new thing, but it's new to the MCU universe.
Right.
So, MCU universe, that's okay. So when I saw this, it wasn't one of those where I just went, "Oh God, no zombies! This is great." It was hilarious, and I think they did it well and did it for that reason.
I saw this and went, zombies, really?
Right.
I'll be honest. I was one of the ones like, really, like, so.
What about while watching it?
Well, the instant so even while watching it, because you don't know, it's just like, because it starts off with what a great segue into going into it, Justin. Look at you. So, because it starts off, it's like, Bruce Banner sent to Earth to warn of an incoming doom. So that shows the whole beginning. Except, but in this universe, it's quite different. So he lands. Thanos is coming. Hello.
Yeah.
And then walks outside. Oh man, am I too late? And then, yeah, he runs right into the beam goes up. Rejoice. You get to see your boy, and you're like, oh, man. It's like, all right, buddy, let's go. And you're, no. What do you mean, no? Right?
Right.
So I'm sitting here watching. I'm just like, okay, like, when do the zombies come through? Like, what's, I'm still just not sold. And then you see Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Wong, Bam Finn, and oh, you guys are in trouble now. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And they're using their weapons. They're using their magic. Mm-hmm. They're doing all this creative stuff. Mm-hmm. Then they start eating the things.
Yep.
Then you see there's zombies. And my brain went, oh, so wait. So there's zombies that still retain, like, not necessarily memory of who they are, but they still, like, they're not just like mindless zombies. They're all the way full thinking zombies. Oh, I'm sold.
Yes.
This is amazing because there's no way the zombies don't win.
Right. The
zombies win.
Or
it's a simple. No, oh come on. We'll get that when we get to the end of the episode. But like, no, they for sure win. That's what I was thinking when I watched it. I was like, there's no way.
Right.
You can't beat this. And so yeah, freaking zombies and Hope Van Dyne, good old Wasp pops up, saves Banner. It's like, yeah, come with me. Like, who are you? I'm all that's left. Let's go.
Right. And then Spider-Man.
And then Spider-Man swings through. Yeah. Not Tom Holland, but it's still fun to see.
It was a good.
Still fun to see Spider-Man anyway.
Whoever did
it was a good Tom Holland.
Was good. Yeah.
Yeah. No, all the people they've gotten to voice the people that they're supposed to voice have been pretty good.
I have a gripe about one.
Which one? Tell us.
We'll talk about that in the next episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
I mean,
and I might even agree with you. I just can't think off top like who might be talking about. But
right.
Again, there's still some people. I'm just like, man, just throw them a 1-day contract or something, man. Like let them come in.
Just a fucking call.
They have a couple. Hell, for as little as some of them do talk, they might even just come do it for free. Like, hey, we're just gonna just throw them some like, hey, we're gonna throw you some streaming money on the back end, whatever. Just, what's your minimum rate? We'll pay your minimum rate because we just need you for like 2 hours. You can stay at home and fucking phone it in if you want. Like, yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Studios were sending people green screens and recording devices and all the things they would need to be able to set up on their own in their own room so that way they can keep shows going. And you weren't able to call somebody and say, hey, can we send you a mic that you can hook up to your laptop and we can record some stuff, just go into here, we'll send you some padding for a closet or the bathroom, whatever you need, so that way we can record it for fucking 5-6 hours at most
Yeah.
and get it done. And give them a call. Just call them. God. Never mind. So, but I digress.
So they pick up Bruce and they take him to crap. Where are the headquarters? I forget.
Their headquarters were a bunch of train cars, all like stuck
right,
in a web.
right. That's right.
Between
There's
like two buildings.
Yeah, they've created a thing, and you get to see who's around. It's Bucky's around, Okoye's around, or does that come up later? And then, you get to see that video. Well, that's how you get to know who's around. It's like, so you want to survive the zombie apocalypse? In a total like Spider-Man, like that's totally believable. Like when it was coming up, I was like, this feels right. And you can see Happy's around. Do I have to be doing this?
I liked his shirt.
Yeah.
You see what his shirt
His
said?
shirt, I did. I can't remember what it says off top.
It says, "I'm not single. I'm saving myself for Thor." Like, what?
So random. Do I have to be doing this? Come on.
Right.
And then you get to see Sharon Carter was hanging out, and your boy from Ant-Man and the Wasp, the Daniel DeSmallchin. I can't remember his character's name.
Yeah,
but
David DeSmallchin.
David DeSmallchin. Boom.
Yeah.
Getting names right. Nail it on the first try. Yeah.
It's okay.
They're the kind of the crew that's made it. And we get the narration from the Watcher that basically said this all happened because instead of in Ant-Man and the Wasp, instead of them going in and finding Janet Van Dyne and it's all good and big family reunion and everybody's all happy, it turns out whilst Janet was in the little quantum zone, she was hit with a little virus that basically turned into a zombie. And so Hank Pym finds her, she bites Hank Pym, and since they're both of right minds, they're like, hey, let's go bamf out and take over. So they bamf out and they attack Ant-Man, and then Hope is able to bamf away. And then
and
the
Avengers come in to save the day.
when they took over the whole Northwest was taken over in like 24 hours, and then the Avengers came to save the day, and the Watcher has a great line of like, ironic that the Avengers saved the day, and it was mankind's downfall, because once they got infected, they pretty much started the zombie apocalypse. Because they pretty much were responsible for most of the takeover.
Yeah,
because they came through, and because they're still of their kind of like-minded, or I pretty much just say it's muscle memory at this point. They got to have there's emotions too, which we'll touch on at the end of the episode, because there's straight up emotions. I think that is just like a deterioration of the body and a lot of main thought, but you're running on emotions, and you're running on shit like how to use the sling ring and open a portal. How to use your shit in your Iron Man outfit still. Yeah.
So there's something else there than just muscle memory.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. But you have all them.
So now they're all infected, and so now the goal is to try to head to New Jersey, because we believe that that's where the cure is.
Something coming from there too.
Yeah.
Like there's some kind of a huge signal, or
some kind of beacon or
there.
something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
Happy drops that great line. Great, end of the world. And we got to go to freaking Jersey. Something like that.
Right.
No, it's we got to go. And he goes, end of the world. I still end up driving. That was.
Right.
I thought you were an Uber driver. No, I'm a chauffeur.
Right. Good.
I love it.
So they end up going to the train station and splitting up, which
never split the
Spider-Man
party.
warned them like,
you never split the party. Have do you not have horror movies in Wakanda? No, we have American reality shows.
Right.
Yeah. So but never split the party. So they split the party, and that doesn't go well at all.
No, they end up losing Happy.
Blam.
And
blam,
as
blam.
they're losing him, I
blam,
love the
blam, 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 blam,
blam, blam, blam.
And
you
even as a
saying
freaking
blam?
zombie, blam, blam.
And it's a good thing this thing goes off of like what you were already capable to do, because he was already not good at that thing. So when he's trying to shoot Sharon and she's stuck to the wall, it does not go well, because he already could not do it. So
Right.
yeah,
Too funny.
runs into Hawkeye. Hawkeye's a zombie, and He's whipping
And
arrows
then you
about.
also had Falcon.
Falcon comes through. Yeah, it's
Gets chopped in half.
does get chopped
That
in
was
half.
that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they end up getting the train going, but they had to give it a jump start. Has to not push the car, but pull the train to give it enough jump start. And he's
That classic Spider-Man flip. I'm going to press something real hard.
right. Yeah. Yeah. And he gives it enough leverage
It's classic.
to do so.
Classic Star-Lord.
But when doing it, he's almost about to just be absolutely eaten alive by a good horde of zombies. And the cape saves his life. He lets go, and the train's coming right at him. The cape comes, swoops him up, and puts him into the train. And they all just speed off, and off they are to New Jersey. Jersey, the saving point in life. To all our Jersey fans, how you doing out there?
Happen on the a couple things happen on the train. Good old Cap shows up.
Yep.
Bucky has got to take down Cap, and Cap, he's a zombie now, and whips the shield at him. Bucky catches it, whips the shield right back, and that's pretty much the end of that.
Chops him in half, and I like how it gets stuck in the it gets stuck there, and he ends up taking the shield, and because we all want to see Bucky with the shield as well at some point, but he takes the shield, and then he goes, "Sorry, Cap. I guess this was the end of the line." Hey, just like the line from.
Right.
So yeah,
Right.
we have whatchamacallit. Sharon got eaten by
Sharon got turned into a zombie, but
so
but a good old Hope Van Dyne goes all small, and then boom, and just I'm covered in Sharon. But turns out she got herself a cut, so
yep,
it's all bad.
yeah.
Because the train runs out of fuel. Oh.
No, they basically just get to where they're going, but the problem being...
then they have to, it's like, we have to go through that, and it's just a sea of zombies, and Hope's like, well, you can't go through them, but you can go over them, and everybody's like, no, but y'all know what this means, and so she turns all big, and we get this nice little slow cinematic moment where she's just stomping over zombies, but zombies make their way up and climb her like a tree.
No sound effects, just all soundtrack. It's just that moment,
She's able to give him over this chain link fence.
Yeah.
After she drops him off, I'm just like, go small, go small, go small. And I'm like, she forgot to go small. And Kayla's like, I don't know if that's going to make a difference. I'm like, what do you mean? It's going to make a huge difference. Boom. Nailed it.
If she dies big, she's gonna stay big. Mm-hmm. So.
Exactly. So instantly I was like, well, they're going to have fun on the way out, and they're going to expect people to have forgotten about that, but I'm going to remember that, because I would okay, so we're just going to keep her big. Y'all know she's going to come back as a big zombie, right? It's not going to be good.
A zombie death in a zombie movie, or a death in a zombie movie, is usually just foreshadowing. Unless you just watch them just take off the head and go, okay, well, that person's not coming back. They're coming back. So.
Right.
Yep. And they go inside.
Go inside, and who do we see? We get to see good old. We get to see good old Vision.
Yeah. Vision just ends up popping up behind, I think, Spider-Man, and he just kind of seems like good old Vision.
Everybody's like, "Oh, Vision's great." It's like, yeah. It turns out I'm not on the menu, so I'm good. Because of what the stone he has in his head, it kind of repels zombies.
Yes.
So he's been trying to work on a cure, kind of get things going, but turns out
he kind of did. Kind of figured out a cure.
He did, because he fucking whips a chair around, and we get to see good old Ant-Man, at least just his head, and right off bat, coming up with some, I know what you're thinking, I lost some weight, but I won't let it go to my head. Boom, off bat. You're just like, man, he nailed it, off bat.
Yep.
And good old Paul Rudd. It is Paul Rudd, too, so it's just that classic, the only Paul Rudd can deliver lines like that.
Right.
You can see his
right. That was cool, and it was funny to just see the I had just immediate Futurama vibes.
Yes.
Because it just, how can you not?
Right.
It just...
Right.
Just I expected to see all of a sudden, like, the president show up and go, "What's going on here?" But yeah, no, it was good. Sorry, for all you who didn't notice, that was a Nixon joke.
I am not a crook. Yeah,
Yes,
but you're a lot
you
worse than that. You're a lot worse than that, my man. That's what you are. But we can do a whole thing on Nixon, that piece of shit.
Oh, boy.
Not now. We don't have the time.
No. I mean, okay, good.
Let's go.
Yeah, no. So,
Stay in the pocket. Stay in the pocket.
stay on target. Stay on target. So,
For all the good that Vision has done, he doing some not so good things.
right. And you end up having Bucky and... Was it just Bucky that went down to check things out?
It might have been just Bucky.
I think it was just Bucky. Yeah. So he ends up going downstairs, looking around, and he ends up seeing freaking a bunch of shit lying around, a bunch of stuff that doesn't look like quite right, and hears something, turns and fires right on point, the way that Bucky would, at what looks like some glass that's holding another zombie. That's Scarlet Witch.
Freaking Scarlet Witch. Turns
and
out
then-
Vision been keeping
yeah.
Scarlet Witch down there. But not only that,
Not
apparently Dark Meat's been on the menu. Because you turn around and it's freaking T'Challa himself. Like, oh, let me tell you.
Right.
Vision done snapped, man.
Yeah.
We gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. If there's any way of doing this, we need to do this now. Let's go. He doesn't have a leg. And yeah. Yeah. They need to go.
It turns out Vision been feeding T'Challa to Scarlet Witch, but not before.
And others.
And others.
You know?
Trying to keep this thing going, and turns out firing that bullet into that casing probably worst thing you could do, because Scarlet gets a hold of it because she still has her powers, and she shatters that glass, and Vision like, you've awakened her, and all shit just goes all bad.
So they end up all having to get the hell out of there.
Shit just goes all bad. Well, not all of them make
Baba
it.
Yaga.
Baba, yeah, not all of them make it. He's the first to go. Just gets sucked right into that room, and
Yeah. And then
it just
he
goes
comes
all
out just raising hell. So they all having to run as fast as they bloody can to get out of there.
I think they lose Okoye, they lose Bucky.
Yes.
It gets ugly.
It does.
We get to see Okoye die. My king, Wakanda forever. Boom, and this is Okoye. Oh,
Yeah.
it gets rough.
Yeah. Yeah. So at that point, Vision just basically cuts the size of the building chunk out of the ground and just
Yeah.
lets everything collapse around it
Vision's like, yeah,
to
we need to go.
keep him in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to go.
And he's like, I don't have much use at this point, which I was like, going, dude, look what you just did. So, like, I'm going to rip my own stone out. And
But he had to
let you
atone
guys
for
go.
his sins.
And it's like, dude, do you not know? What are you doing? Like, go with them. But it was also, he was just going to be a beacon because she's after him as well, because she's in love with him, because there's love and there's other emotions still left in Scarlet Witch. So he just said, here, take this, go. I'll hold her back,
Right.
I guess. And she ends up getting even more pissed off because she sees his dead body
Yep.
and loses her shit. And also, by doing that, all the zombies then start flooding in because there was a combination of him and the stone holding them back.
Right.
So, yeah, gets the stone, and they end up having to get out of there. But Bruce, at that point, then decides, I'm going to hold the rest of this horde back and be a distraction while you guys take off.
Yep.
And up until this point, he hasn't turned, but he runs just head in first, like, wouldn't it be cool if you were the hero for once?
Right.
Wouldn't it be cool if you did the right thing?
Right.
And, yeah, runs in, ends up hulking out, taking down some zombies, but then we get a little zombie Scarlet Witch versus Hulk fight, which I would have loved to have seen more of.
Yeah, for real.
A whole lot more of.
For real.
Maybe Hulk survived and they'll pull him in, but we'll see what happens.
Right.
Yeah. So he ends up going. They end up taking off using a Quinjet.
We do get that little fun moment where they're taking the Quinjet, and of course they're flying by an embiggened Hope, because she's a big zombie now. And they're
Right.
trying to go away, and she flings that zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bink. Like, oh, just
Right.
made it. Like, oh, she nailed it. She hit it. That was awesome. But,
Right.
didn't do much.
Right.
So, yeah, they're flying away. They're talking about, everybody's got hope. It's like, hey, man, we're going to go to Wakanda. The Black Panther's flying. We're going to go to Wakanda. We're going to figure this all out. Everything's going to be great. And sure enough, not only is Wakanda taken over by zombies, but there's a zombified Thanos with an Infinity Gauntlet missing the Mind Stone, waiting for him to show up. So,
Yep. Yep. And then the episode ends.
let's just say the zombies win. Can we say that? Can we say that?
Sure. I mean, we
Yes.
didn't see it happen, though.
Come on, man.
But we didn't see it happen.
Come on, man.
But we didn't see it happen.
What that, like, when everyone's a zombie, T'Challa has one leg, Spider-Man's got a cape, and I think they got the head. Do they get Scott's head?
Yeah.
What kind of...
But
what
now
kind of
Scott's head has the cape. So Scott
kind of-
can
what
do
kind
what
of
he needs to do.
jacked
He can
up
fly
Guardians of the Galaxy you think are going to come against a zombified Thanos? And they don't, and they won't even have to rip the stone out of the head. They're coming and bringing it to him on a platter, man.
Yep. So, I mean, but we still didn't see it. That's the rule of the comic books and rule of movies and rule of most storytelling. If you don't see a death happen, then there's not 100% certainty that it did.
Cool story, bro. The zombies
Well,
win.
yeah, hey, all I'm saying is Fast and Furious, they brought back a dude who obviously blew up in a car, and for some reason he's back now.
Did you just compare the greatness of Marvel movie and everything they're doing to just the printing money machine and the non-soul of family movies that is Fast and Furious?
Are you saying that the whole Marvel movies at this point now have nothing to do with printing money?
But they're printing good money.
They may be printing good
Fast and
money,
Furious is
but all
printing
I'm just
that-
saying,
Fast
the
and Furious
rules,
is
like the
printing that
rules of
spirit cheap
storytelling
money.
itself, the rules of storytelling itself, if you don't see the death happen, then there's no certainty that it did, and there's a chance of bringing those characters back.
The zombies win, man.
I'm just saying.
As they
I'm not
should.
arguing with that. I'm just saying that we didn't see it happen.
What did he say? What did he say? You can run from it. You can hide from it. I am inevitable. That's Thanos. That, hey, unless he talks to a cool T'Challa Starler who's just like, hey man, come on. And he's like,
Right.
you're
Well,
right.
we'll also talk about how inevitable he is in in the next episode.
Won't
So,
we? Boy, won't we?
Yes, we will. So yes, that was at least episodes 1 through 5
Hell yeah.
of What If.
This
And-
what if train is rolling. It's good stuff. Mm-hmm. Coming in, I didn't really 100% know a whole lot about it. I knew they'd done some comics, but these stories, especially if they're saying some of them are canon now, we're going to see some interesting branches growing off this Marvel tree. So,
That is true.
yeah, man.
That is true. Yes. So yeah, that was that. And
That was our episode.
obviously, like we've been saying, next week we will be talking about the final 4 episodes.
You could say we've only had half of the meat and potatoes. We're going to have the other half
That's right.
next time because it's all the same. It's all the same plate.
That's right.
Awesome. Well,
Oh yeah.
as always, y'all can find us on all the things.
Yes.
Anywhere where you enjoy listening to podcasts, you can probably go ahead and type in the Matinee Review with Justin and Akili, and I'm pretty sure that little slate will pop up, and it's like, hey, there they are.
Right.
So we would appreciate it if y'all gave us a listen. You can give us an ad on Twitter at Matinee Review JA. We need some followers.
That's right.
We don't necessarily need or want or crave the blue check, but hey, if we get it, that's cool.
That's right.
So yeah, come follow us, and we're still working on our Instagram page, but we'll get that going. But shout out Buzz Sprout.
That's right. Yes.
Shout out our we got a Canadian listener
We did have a Canadian
also.
listener.
I don't think we mentioned that because we gave a shout out to our French ambassador who's still out there somewheres, and let's give a shout out to our Canadian ambassador. We got a listener out there,
That's right.
so thanks for letting these people know what it's all about. And yeah, man.
We just lost our Canadian
Sorry.
listener. So that was great.
Oh,
Good
come on,
listening
guy.
to
You're
you.
my buddy, guy. I'm not your guy, friend. You're not my friend, buddy. I'm not your buddy, guy. Cool beans. Well, should we wrap?
That's it. Well, oh yeah, we're done. We're done here, folks.
All right.
We're done.
I am.
Not that I don't want to be doing this. I think that's about it.
Well, thank you all for listening. And as always, stay safe. Love each other. I am Akili.
I am Justin.
We will see y'all on the next one.
That's right.